We're back. Oh, to the applause of all the Tomb Raider lovers, I'm sure. Crickets. Alright, what do we got? This is gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. Almost there, though. Do we have the crowbar? No. Have anything, because that guy stole them. Laura's a fool. Looks like we just have to take a shitload of minecarts everywhere. We'll do this one. We be free? It's gonna be soon, man. It's gonna be real soon. Right, bros? For her to do her little jiggle. It's been a while. I've got over 60, 70 hours in them, I think. And then, I mean, I took a break for a week or two-ish. I don't know which path goes where. Well, that's not the one we want to go to. Am I just always supposed to hit these? You know they're gonna put one that actually has something. It's supposed to be her, like, the minecart shaking, clearly, but it doesn't even look like it. I think she's just dancing. And the music's gone. Music always cuts out after like a cutscene. Or after a reload. Alright, what do we got in here? Yeah, we've been on the Tomb Raider for a while. I don't think we'll be doing the expansions. I'm looking forward to moving on to new pastures. I need like some full completionist shit, maybe. I'll re-rent it and we can do them. I mean, I doubt I'll end up doing the handheld ones, so. What the fuck is down here, man? What's the point? Yeah. Yeah, what all Tomb Raider games are there? We've looked them up before. Tomb Raider series. Okay. Last Revolution's the fourth one. The Game Boy Color Tomb Raider. Three Game Boy Color ones. No, the Prophecy Game Boy Advance. Yeah. Reboots. Lara Croft Go. No thanks. Yeah, I've not heard anything about the Game Boy Color ones. As far as full entries go, I mean, expansions aren't really on there, but I mean, together they're pretty much a game. But if I really wanted to, we could do them at some point. But yeah, there's three Game Boy Color or two Game Boy Color ones, one Game Boy Advance one, and other than that, it's just the main entries and then the remake of one, the last reboot. We'll see how I'm feeling come the 4, 5, and 6 remasters. And I need a break from them right now, I think. Done plenty, I would say. Yeah, this is that era where it's like every one of these like platformers had like a Game Boy game, and they're almost always like dog shit. Might not even mess with it. I don't even know if it's the same team who made them or what. What is going on, man? Oh, shit. Well, I mean, at least some crazy shit's happening. The pinnacle of evolution. Yeah, I like how he was like the classic villain speech, even in this goofy ass story. We're gonna speed up evolution. The Callisto Protocol. That studio released a new game recently, like In the World or whatever. I think they're trying to do like small indies and kind of get their footing, but I don't see that turning out the best. But I respect it more than another Callisto Protocol. Some rockets. Final boss, you think he's just gonna turn into some Resident Evil ass motherfucker? Just gonna be like Birkin or something? The sound is awesome. I'm gonna see who actually made those. I'd be surprised if it's the same crew. And I mean, you know it's gonna be super compromised. I mean, sometimes those handheld ones can be cool, but usually it's a red flag, man. And I'm only gonna do those if I do the rest of the series. Those would be like the last things I do, maybe. I'm in no rush after this one. Wait for the new remasters to come out and get a physical. Oh, this is the one that closed on us. Gonna have over 800 to 900 saves by the end of this. Holy. Somebody watched this thing before they made this fucking level, dude. Shotgun, not that good. This is the job, but I'm just going through the ammo, really. Somebody's out there trying to get me. They can't reach me, man. What the fuck are we doing here? I don't think we can get back. To find a new path, and you know it's probably not warm. where's the way back up? Look at that. One thing at a time. A crank handle. Okay. Wish the heat filled up quicker. I don't think there's been anything other than water that fills up your cold meter. So it might as well just be like water. I think they wanted to be like realistic with like you have to warm up over time, but it's either ignorable as like a little side immersion thing, or it's just a pain in the ass. Not really anything fun. I have a crank now. Winch starter. Okay. Imagine this is used back in some ancient fucking area. Okay. Somebody's down there. Is this the other side of where I've already been? You gotta live, boy. I'm not climbing back up that. And I get myself fucking 5 shotgun rounds back for not climbing up either. Now the problem is, what is up here? Oh, the minecart. Right. There's probably some secret in this, but I'll live. I think I'll be okay. We back in the main room? It's like I hope so. I don't want too many stops. It will be long as shit. I don't know if this is where we started. I want to say it is. Yeah. At like 0.5 second times if that. Alright. Do this one. kind of like the first game. Not quite, but just essentially where you keep coming back to. Not quite as interesting, but I saw some loot back there. Yeah, that's okay. I'll live. We're not supposed to break it. Usually you want to break because you can fucking flip it, but of course this time, no. No, we had to break it just a little bit. I have no idea. This shit's fucking cheeks, dude. She looks ridiculous, fucking swaying. Just get a little off. Maybe we only need to take a bit. Oh. Even though we skipped one hill's speed, it still fucks you. Therefore I did it better, of course. So did Donkey Kong. Jesus. Now what happened if I smacked it? Is there even one to smack? What's up, nerd? The fuck are these? Drills? What are they drilling? They're just drilling her, yeah. Want a piece of that Lara? That's how they test for the height of evolution. You can get past those, you're good to go. If not, back to the doohickey device to turn you into a better mutant. A long ways down. Is there maybe a even halfway decent reason? Okay. Well, let's see what's here first. Oop. MP5, I don't know why it takes so long to like do anything with. It's like only okay at dudes who are like really far away. Because you can like, it takes like a few seconds to get it up. It's just like with the M16. Well, I'm glad they make shoes in his size. His shoes look pretty clean. He's that guy's fucking cobbler, man. Can't have the pinnacle of human evolution be looking like shit, man. Walking around in some Skechers. Is this guy not dead yet? Oh, great, he poisoned me again. Just for a laugh. But there's nothing down here. Okay. Bye. What's up, dude? She can only hold her hands out for like a split second before she just gives up. So if something just happens to be like a millimeter too far, you just eat shit. We gotta go farther to the left. Okay. I do like this song. Wish the mystery feel had much purpose beyond the song. I mean, I guess there's a little weird mystery with these guys, but the freaks. There's a way to swim down there, but it's gonna be a quick death. Yeah, I really think that in the beginning, the first one, I was like, okay, it's atmosphere. I don't mind. It sounds, you know, neat. The second one, I was like, it sounds like they're doing it to be cheap. And this one for sure. They have more music in this one, but I think the game would benefit from music cues more often at this point. Because, or if they're going to keep the atmosphere, have a more rich like soundscape, that they reuse the same soundscapes from like the first game for like 90% of each of these levels in 2 and 3. Kind of makes it hard to really get like into the immersive like sounds of shit. I mean, and some of them don't even fit. Sometimes it sounds like you're in a cave, but you're just in like a little town or something. It's just kind of fucked, yeah. I was all about it in the first one, right? You're in a tomb, you know, just the sounds of it. If it... Some kind of ambient music here and there would help for sure. Thing is, there's not really like a progression in a lot of these levels. So, like, you can't really like mix it up, but you could at least have like a similar sound popping often, I guess. Like, I've been hearing this track forever. This ambient track. And it sucks when you hear an ambient track and you're tired of it. Like, it's repetitive. Like, usually that's a song or you pay more attention to it. Ambient stuff tends to be the opposite, where you don't notice it. It lasts longer, but this one's like no, it stands out. The Atlantis one with the heartbeat. Sometimes they mix and match. They definitely saved a buck on the music. It's one of those things, like, maybe they considered it like, they're like, hey, you know, this is part of what people like about these, and maybe they fooled themselves into thinking that was just the call. Because it saved them a lot of money to not have to make a whole new soundscape or too many effects. I mean, they did new gun effects in this, but or change the music at all. Because what music's here is good. I mean, I think it's a good soundtrack when it exists, for sure. I feel like that's a lot of the development. Tomb Raider 1 goes really well, so they just like stick to their guns in like way too many ways. Like, not only did they leave the core kit and the movement without any refinement, just a couple new additions, just enough to essentially call it a sequel, right? But yeah, the music, the sound design, all that stuff. Like, it's relatively unchanged. And, you know, yeah, if you want to call the lack of music like all about atmosphere, the trademark, that's cool. But then they gotta go in on that, right? Like, it's probably too early to have like directional audio and all that for like every little sound. But like a little something, you know, trying to push that envelope maybe, or at least just like a fresh soundscape everywhere you go. You know, I do think like a low like sound, more ambience does fit like the slow nature of it. And it's like, you're not gonna do that, then it's like more music. Like, but I don't know. I feel like the way the music and sound is kind of how the rest of it is. It doesn't feel like a hard asset flip on like every texture or anything like that, but there's definitely some. I don't think they were too sad that they could just crank these out quickly. And there's nothing wrong with like reusing assets either. I don't mean it that way. But it's doing it effectively, I guess. I don't know why she can't use her legs here. Just slows the climb even more. Jesus, we've just been going. I thought this was a side thing, but I don't know where the minecart is. If there was something in that direction. We've got a important thing. We got the crowbars. Okay, I see. That was it. That was the necessity. Alright, well, hopefully we have enough stuff now. We just move on. Well, no. There was that one path that was blocked at the first track. We'll try the door with the crowbar first. Yeah, and I'm curious in the fourth one, since it's pretty quick after this. I think it's PS2 after the fourth one, maybe? Yeah, just how they handle all that. It's like, you know, you imagine by like anniversary and like 5 and 6, it's like, how do they decide to finally refine it? Does not look like wood, man. I think we gotta go back up to the top one. Let's see what's in here. That's it. Oh, yeah, okay, that's useful. Oh, now they're on. Alright. Oh well. That's all we got left, so. The route should already be smacked, so need to watch out for speed and ducking. Really don't need that, but I'm staring it down. I can't help myself, man. A lot of effort for something that is completely useless. Did it like heat it up? It like dropped it. Okay. And this didn't even look like something you can interact with. Okay. And I just jump in. Okay, it's supposed to be like a checkpoint, but of course it's like you can barely fucking manage to make it. They're like a midpoint too? This thing maybe? Great, now you just sit here. So, how's your Saturday, folks? Oh, done. That's gonna see if there's any gaming news. Alright, so we'll use this as a midway. Wonder if you have enough healing kits if you can skip this whole thing. This whole level. Same with like some of the water ones. You don't have to stop at like heals or anything. Jesus, dude, why are these so like incredibly tight? They're not even like just tight, you like almost have to take damage. Crazy. And there has been points in the series you have to take damage. It is not outside of their purview. I'm fucking dead already. We had a millisecond of not knowing what to do. Oh wait. I didn't save after we fucking got our heat back. And this game without quick saves would... Yeah, you have to take damage there. They've done it again. I mean, there's nothing like inherently wrong with that, as long as it's just the setup. I mean, it's like technically you could end up in like soft locks in certain instances, right? Like if you went backwards before using these and then you ran out of heals or something, but it's like, how often is that going to happen? And it's usually just like you play well, that means you don't take damage. It's kind of just game tradition, but I mean, it's fine. You have to take damage. Right? It's just a little odd. I guess it's just supposed to make it feel like more intense in this situation. Okay. Something tells me this is gonna break. Oh. There's stuff down there. I don't really care. the fellas. Whoa, why do they look way creepier here? These look spooky. This just looks like the lads. That's just fine. Just keep her moving. Into the temple. How long is this one? Big. Yes. I see. So we can grab that. Okay. Thought that would just be a clean one. These rockets better be slick, man. We're fighting the final boss. We got a key. One. this is warm water. Or lukewarm. Alright. We started back here. We just did like the whole circuit. We opened something over here. Might have been higher up. A little bit of new spooky ambience here. What is this? Jesus, look at that thing. Fucking satanic key. The Moai statues are eldritch. Even just like a little bit of new atmosphere sound here is pretty good. Whoop. The camera. Hard to tell how far you're turning sometimes. When the camera starts whipping and you overdo it. And that it goes from the modern stuff to like the temple and Antarctica and all that. I mean, it's a cool setup. It's a nice progression. I mean, I wish the rest of everything was cool too. But... I have no idea what that was. Just waiting for that to open eventually. So close. Yeah, where was that? No fucking clue. So back up in another room. Lost City of Tinos. Tinos? Of Tinnitus. Give myself a couple seconds. We yoinked that one. Been in there. Oh, this. Of course, I have to drop for fun first. Whatever. What the fuck was this? Been able to move a little quicker across at least. Big open spaces is nice, but it's pretty rare you can just dead sprint. The traps and all that stuff, the amount of jumps. God, is there like a code somewhere? This bit, I keep falling in this fucking thing because you want to cut across this room every time. I don't know what this is supposed to mean. Anything. How did this guy get in here before us? Just like the first game where it's like somehow Takes you 10 years to get into these places, but there's already a dude with a gun and they're waiting. Some of these have different symbols. One's got a fish. One's got a plant. There's some common patterns first. What do we got? The triangle supposed to be like 3 sides or 4 triangles. I don't recall seeing anything like that. Let's just go ahead and load her up. Cinematic even. This must just be the start of this level. But I expect this one to probably be the supersized one. Could be a puzzle in its own right. I'm not seeing a lot of clues. I mean, there could just be like one wall somewhere. What do you guys think? Could be they need to have an even amount of like 3. Got too many birds. Have to get rid of the bottom back one. I mean, 4 would be weird because it'd be easy to just guess. So it's 3 birds. Maybe just need an even amount in general. Only 3 fish total, I think. Yeah. 3 fish total. No way to even get. Oh no, we can get birds. Yeah. That's some goofy food chain shit. I mean, I was trying real shit, but I can't say that. Dead set on the answer. I don't even know if there was a proper pattern. Or it was just something you had to find somewhere. Oh, we got two. We got 3 humans, 2 grass, like 4 birds, 2 ox. I don't know. Maybe it's like a weakest to strong. How many you need for each one? I have no idea what it is. No idea how you normally find that. Or if it is a puzzle, but glad to be past it. Fucking bug. It is infinite. They're feeling infinite. Maybe not. Kind of hard to see stuff to do. Oh, are they showing us platforms? Is that why they're infinite? Yeah, real fucking interesting, dude. Oof. What a funky ass room, dude. Not really in a good way. Really in a good way at all. I'm assuming I just need to make a jump. Don't grab onto that. I don't think she can make this jump. Hmm. So, I mean, it feels like you could go like underneath these, but I mean, it's possible there's an invisible platform in the middle of this too, and I have to like bait it. Really fucking. Like you can see there's one there. Jesus. That was like out of eyesight because it was like over the hill. Hmm. I'm glad you can just use flares for this. And that these guys have magically stopped spawning. Oh, it's a secret, sadly. I'd rather be the main path. Some DM. Playing some Zelda 2 right now. You know, Zelda 2 wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. A lot of nice little indie inspired Zelda 2 things. Well, Fernax. I feel like Fernax is more of like a Bell of Simon's Quest, but it's similar. Utopias and all that. What was the point of that? Okay. This is where they spawn. Honestly surprised the only enemies we've seen are some bugs. That's fine. I mean, the infinite respawns are a pain in the ass. I feel like I'm about to have a speak of the devil moment. Yeah. Yep. Whoever these guys are. Swinging fire. More bug. I better get locked in. When she shoots on the ground like that, she's actually shooting forward, even though it doesn't look like it. Didn't realize that at first, until I started seeing the blood splatters. Any loot up here? That's not bad. I gotcha. There's music, yeah, it's the... Heard it before, some kind of remix of the title theme, or the theme of the game, but... It did look good. That, my buddy's talking about food, man, I had to grab up before the stream. My mom likes making those kinds of loaf cakes. Quite tasty. Yeah, my mom likes to do the glazes. She doesn't do it as much now, but she still will. Well, actually, no, the last one she did had a lot of glaze. Something else back here. Okay. Are you like new to doing the glaze? Didn't want me to do that, but it worked. I've never made bread in my life of any kind, or cake, I don't think. I really should. So what, is it gonna be like too runny? L plus ratio, is it the like ratio? Is that what that is? Like Twitter? Eyeballed it. Like any pro chef would do. As God wills. This way. Fucking goddamn Armored Core 1. Goofy fucking cube fall. Oof. We're gonna put one in there, man. Of course, baby. And there's one there. Start from the top. Great. Why is Laura so fucking flammable? She's too hot. I mean, that's protein, man. It's tasty. Gotta use nature's ingredients. Come kick, come kick, come kick. Give her here. Those lava cakes. Jizz. We really do want to get down. Oh yeah, that's how you know it's homemade, when it's got the imperfections, right? Like when people say, "Oh, I like homemade pottery and stuff," because it's got little fuck up and shit. I mean, there's always a line, and I'm sure as a chef or baker or whatever, you want to go tip top or something. I don't know if I've ever had fruitcake. I don't see why that would be bad. It sounds good. Like fruity little bits in your cake. Oh, it looks like shit. Yeah, that's probably true. Let's see if covered cakes crossed on the line. As long as it doesn't look like one of those like anime trope, like rotten fish or blurred out kind of, you know, that kind of shit. Round little semen cake. Bouquet. Dude, I bet somebody's made that recipe. The bouquet, the bukkake. Now that is a recipe I bet you could find full on, down to the fucking amount of semen needed. I gotta wonder how semen is as like a, as a cooking ingredient. It's another episode of Katie talking about fucking semen. Oh! Fucking consumption stream. I need to make it back to here? Oh, Jesus, this is a pain in the ass. What is Brax? And Kake. I don't know if I saw that one. That emote, that's the name of the emote? Make it. Oh. That streamer. I see. Oh, you're looking for an emote called Brax. Streamer who quit streaming? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I see. When people don't come back, they find a different avenue of life. It's good that they didn't just disappear. That's the worst. Would you like grabs on just a little bit? So is this like timed or is it like resetting? Or even is it? Like flipped it? What is this? Oh, this is a different switch. No wonder. Boon. I see. We have to like change certain ones to get to this thing. Man, I don't really want to have to do some goofy jump shit here. I wonder if I could make this somehow. I don't really like the idea of a puzzle where you just have to like keep climbing an entire fucking off for 10 hours. I'm supposed to hang on to this bit. She won't hang on. Well, it's just right here. Just hold your fucking arms out for fuck's sake. Oh! I made it. I didn't expect it. I was holding down a random button there. How did that work? Nice. I'll beat my way to the fucking credits. They let me. That's called Mastery of the Mechanics. It's right there. What the fuck did I just open? Oh, the door. Can I just, like, get down? Will that be okay? Open your mouth. Close your fucking mouth before I put my nuts in them. What did fucking Will Smith say? Oh, take my wife's name out of your mouth, right? Like, it doesn't really work. Take my nuts out of your mouth. That doesn't quite work. Take my husband's nuts out of your mouth. The DMs. Alright, where are we? Since I muted. Might not be able to get over here correctly. I have to re-cheat again. There we go. They just took like 100 rounds. Uzi's weak. Right. Of the generic explosion noise. Really set it home. Fucking stock explosion. Jesus. It is a bazooka. I'm looking forward to enjoying it on the final boss, hopefully. What in the Sam hell? I'm too surprised on that. God, the 4D hickeys, man.
No.
God. This is gonna take a while. When you see 4 doohickeys, you know you're in trouble. There's way too many flare pickups in this game. 158 flare. Leave the music on, it's fine. I won't tell anyone. I promise. No music for you. Look at you. Okay. Give me that there doohickey. Oy. Sealed in there. What was this way? Probably another exit. Oh, they really changed this guy. Creepy to just some dude. Prefer the creepy myself. It's more sinister, but the other one's just like, haha, we are bad at making human as where Neanderthals look. Great. Oh, it's water there. Couldn't even tell. Of course, it's timed. Ooh. Or just auto close behind me. Hard to say. Anything down here? Completely different one. They love their underwater back and forth alcove shit, man. The museum went really hard on this crap. Camera. Here's that sound again. The 10,000th time. No shortcut this time, or where are we at? They had such a nice thing going on that first one. This just stopped the blades. No. Guess I just made this path. Groovy. Two more of these things. Let's hope this is the longest level in the finale set. That would be cool. And there's 3 more total, including this one. You get like 5% per. There could be like a finale in her home again, and final boss kind of shit, you know. This set hasn't been too bad, but get meta back in the water. But we're just at. I'm just at the end of the journey, man. It's 3 of these fucking things. And this game's had a lot of crappy levels. Okay, it didn't hurt me before, but it's just kind of, one was just a pixel lower, I guess. I supposed to get back? Okay. Maybe. Oh. Long trip. Oh, we're getting speed boosted. Laura got some flippers on her, man. He's quick. Buoyant. The Deagle's really strong. Even though I'm getting a little lower on some of these, it's like... Hi, buddy. Yeah, even though I'm getting a little lower on some of these, nothing to worry about. I figure I've barely been using these weapons across the playthrough, so I might as well go all out now. This looks like fun, dude. Great. Is this a jumping challenge or a find the fucking right place to stand challenge? Nice and slow. Oh, good. Strong bugs, man. Good God. Are these just infinitely spawning bugs? My favorite new addition to the game. At least they don't poison you. What do I just keep walking? Like, okay, Jimmy, you get to make a room now. It's gotta be with the mechanic we haven't used much. Like, oh, Jimmy will be fine. He knows what he's doing. And then he makes the mud room. They ship it without testing it. The horror of everyone. I like mud. I like when I walk slowly through the mud. What is down here, man? Just back to the mud. We're in the mud. Yeah, and she's still sucking oxygen down there somehow. Yeah, I don't know how. Ouch. I don't know how to get out. Oh. What the? That ain't fucking goddamn a way out. The mud's gone. Who took all the mud? Hey. You gotta get a full jump, man. Think you can. Yes, I can. I was like, I better not save until I take this hit. Otherwise I'm gonna be saving into fucking death. Possibly. Man, I can't see shit. There's like a little stone in my way. Get out of here. Of course she gets caught on the geometry. Right, to just keep running. Even though you're gonna be facing a fucking weird wall there. You just have to know. I didn't climb down too quick, man. I'm sure there's something in one of these, right? Yep. I want to say that's deagle ammo. Or the most valuable thing. Oh, I mean, I'm sure rockets are the most valuable thing, but... One more. Fucking hornets finally gone, for Christ's sake. Tell me how that guy's gonna already be past this, man. Make it make sense, man. Now, what could this one be? Combat, maybe? Jumping. Of course. But of course, baby. Oh. The fuck am I looking at? Take a little snapshot. All it does is show one act. mean, I don't think if it showed like all of the like a row of safe spots. Trial and error, I guess. I don't think I can do the multi-jump. Do one of these. Maybe we can hang off the side. Yeah, you can do that. Then you need to make your way over there. Trying to flip around and then hold the edge, but you have to start the roll a little in advance. If you're like right at the edge, you end up not getting shit. What the fuck, dude? Trying to like jump forward, but you could maybe make that if you're already on the very edge, but this is not like a set of like equal jumps here. Yeah, you have to turn, of course. You don't even have time to do that. And then you have to do a running jump at the end there. Not being able to see is really cool too. Might as well start a new cycle with the flare. just jump on the edges? No. It just happened to work that time. What an exciting section. Now you can see very little of what's going on before you even get out there too. You have to be like right on. You could do, that'd be a nice upgrade. I mean, there's tank control games like RE4 that do that. It's where you can like do quick 90-degree snaps. God, that you can't do that sucks, man. That'd be such like a nice setup. Like you just get closer and closer over 2 jumps, but nope, they just want you to fucking turn their fucking goofy ass bullshit here. Barely have time. Never anything clever. It's always just like doing the thing super tight. What did this do? I'll turn that guy off. And of course. They just can't help themselves, man. Let's hope this is the last fold up there, man. Jake, like, turn there. I think we're about good, honestly. What is this, timed? For some reason. Okay. And still going. Really gonna have the 4 doohies and keep going? Was this just another way in? I think I might have already been over here. Just no one to stop a level, please, Jesus. Fuck. Is something supposed to happen? Zero fanfare. Can I go in the juice now? No. I mean, if all it did was open this door I've already been to, I mean. That's a whole lot of bullshit for a whole lot of nothing, man. I'm pretty sure we've already been over here. Yeah, just like where we started. At least I think so. I don't remember the bright light, but maybe it just looks really similar. Yeah, we've been here. Something like spawn in there. I haven't been in here. Infinite spawning bug. Can I like get near it and like interact with it? I'm like too much coffee. Alrighty, well, I have no idea what this is for. Some key. We can't go back into those other rooms, so there's nothing to be done there. I just kind of figured, you know. This would be it, man. You do the 4, something happens. Bing, bang, boom. It's not like I gained anything if I go back out here. I don't know if you can make this jump. I assume it's all just side shit. Yeah. This is probably just some goofy interact I haven't seen. Or maybe something's changed now that these are all here with the lights on. Nothing's changed inside really, but some kind of change in the scenery would have made some sense, but oh, the key's down. Just a key. I mean, is it fucking useful, man? Guess we'll get it. Can get down this thing. It's something, I guess. Pretty anticlimactic though, if it's you get the 4 doohickeys. Maybe they should require the key to even get started on the doohickeys, man. I remember where this is. I'm tired of hearing these bugs. Like this just like opens up something. Opens up the credits. Turns the light off. What were the four lads for? They had a point, right? Like a boss room. I hope so. I do. Really? Jesus. A fucking horror movie. Or a horror game, man. So this is the next form of evolution. Oh, she's got her gloves. We're gonna have like an escape from the city here. Okay. He just one shots you. Of course he does. Okay. Okay. Is it another gimmick fight? Okay. The masters at work, man. Masters of boss creation. Okay, it just hums in on you. Make a way to avoid this. we just knocking him out and then rushing to grab all 4 of these? Oh, this is fucking boring as fuck, bro. Why don't we just have a boss fight? Whatever the fuck this is. What is up with that shit, man? I hate these fucking gimmick where it's like some arcane shit going on to figure out what's happening. When we set to get back here in time, if you like step out of the boundaries, he just arbitrarily kills you. Or something. I have no idea. Whatever it is, it's something for sure. Pick up the fucking shit. That wasn't the most exciting rocket launcher. Saw blade, man. Violence. You really just gotta run around like a fucking madman on this shit. I feel like he's like speeding up too. Trying to like jump over him, but he has a huge hitbox, so she like bounced off him. God, what an annoying fight. You have to really play fucking pussyfoot mode. Credits, please. This is gonna be a fucking like 10-hour long escape when we're on it. Yeah, like all of these are like missing too. It'd just be easier to use the fucking deagle, man. Like, what is with that shit? Well, he just doesn't notice you grab them? The super bright, shining objects? I have no idea. It's a mystery, man. What a shit fight. You know, I appreciate them trying to have more bosses to mix it up. But he's just already up, probably. Am I supposed to shoot the rock? Does it just stop on its own? But yeah, they suck at making these. I mean, this system just doesn't work very well either. They try to make them like kind of puzzly or something, but it's like fucking moon logic, man. Like, what am I knocking him out just to distract him so he doesn't arbitrarily like one-shot me? Okay. And then he died with no fanfare. I mean, I guess that's what would happen normally, huh? Dead. Well, time to go. Soak in the wind. A pointlessly long climb here. What are we doing? What is this ending? Or is that just another day for now we gotta find the real treasure? The way out? Oh, it's cute. Finding your way out. They've done escapes before, they've done just, you know, walkouts. I don't mind like a quiet walkout after and just This is how she gets away. Oh, there's something up here. Okay, we're still going. This is like a victory lap. The masters of pace, man. Just finishing off the goons, I guess, man. Goon Town. Just a lot of deagle ammo. I got no idea, dude. We fight like what I assume is the final boss, using all the doohickeys, and then we just leave and go shoot up the local town of goons. What odd pacing always, man. Not even any like a tune maybe. I guess it's just her quietly getting away. It's realism. Sometimes you don't just end up back at your house after the bad guy is killed. Who's this? He's kind of trapped in Antarctica, man. I hear it, man. Jesus Christ. Well, they do like change the cutscenes, so I didn't realize they kind of dolled them up a little. Now she dodges him. He's captured, knocked out all the time. Why are these people still after her? It's over, man. What a cutscene, dude. Jesus, that was it. So they were like, alright, man. We have no idea what to do at the end here, or we ran out of fucking money, man. Like, yep, shitty weird boss fight where you just knock him out and steal his doohickeys, and if he finds out that you stole his doohickeys, he one-shots instead of just one-shotting you normally. And then you just walk through a town and kill a few dudes, and she somehow like teleports behind a guy in a helicopter and cuts to credits. Jesus, that was probably the worst ending of all. Two had the neat little like home thing. Is this, the stories are all horrible, but like, is this the worst one? Like, the worst story? I think it might be. I mean, it's like nonsensical dialogue. no story for any zone you go to hardly. There's barely even in like any environmental storytelling. There's like a little bit maybe. A lot of it's just kind of getting there. It's essentially just a map pack with like a very loose thing. There's some guy who's like helping you find like Darwin's ancient relics, and then at the end he betrays you and turns into a spider, and then it's over. That's literally it. That's probably making it sound more exciting because you're trying to fill in the blanks with some cool shit, but like no, that's literally it. Man, Jesus, even the last one had like I guess the gang that like had ties to the thing, and they would like he'd turn into the dragon, and then they go for revenge at her house. The first one had like the ancient Atlantean Jakuwuka. I mean, they're all bad stories, but at least like the first one's like fun, goofy cutscenes, and the second one's there's a semblance of something. This is just another mission. How we feeling? Feeling like we're done with Tomb Raider for a while. So yeah, I would say Tomb Raider 3 probably better than Tomb Raider 2. I definitely didn't find it as aggravating. They focused back in on exploration to a certain extent, cut down the gun shit. I think it had a reasonable amount of shooting and ways to get around enemies and stuff. They went back to just having a shitload of ammo and all that crap, and everybody's really thank you, whatever. The combat's not good, so I don't want it to be like a huge part of the game. Just a little something to mix it up. I feel like it's about there. Probably still more than the first game, but it's fine. Otherwise, though, I still think the first one by far is the best. This third one has the problem of like not enough tombs, too much modern places, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, except I feel like the way the levels have to be set up, the movement, modern places end up one being less immersive because they just look ridiculous if they don't try to be clever enough. When you see when you have to make like think of like the prison and all that, it's like it just looks like this just boring nonstop. You can't like barely any rooms could be told apart. They're just this maze of like fucking metal hallways and weird jumps and shit, and it doesn't feel like a place. It's like a theme. So I definitely don't like all the modern stuff. I think you could make it work, but on top of that, they're not really that fun of levels half the time. Most of the levels in this are like obstacle courses to the max, and you could say that about the first one, but there's a little bit more of a kind of like a freedom maybe, or down moments and different kinds of pace and all that. And it's not always trying to just be like, you know, kill you every 2 milliseconds and you don't feel as like it's. I've talked about it a million times. Maybe I'm brain dead right now, but Tomb Raider 3. I mean, I think the really big thing is that they've just not upgraded the formula over the games. So you're kind of like it's wearing on you by the third one a bit. The nuance and movement, like small movements and stuff like that, are a pain to do. Contextual stuff, camera angles killing you a lot. This one has even like there's no like they're not like up in the ante on puzzles. They try to a little bit. There's like a little bit more puzzles, but no like thought you have to put into it or learn clues and tells for like traps, and you know it doesn't feel like they're improving their like you know like level design or anything in particular. Like they've got neat ideas. Even the modern ones could be neat, but they're just bad about pacing. Some levels just go way too long for how just kind of dull they are. Even stuff like the vehicles for pace braking are just not interesting, or they control like horrid shit like the kayak. a horrible level that just killed that fucking whole world. Is probably the best one otherwise. In the starting one. But yeah, I mean the big thing is just like they just don't really upgrade anything. I feel like there's a lot of potential for like tighter controls, more creative usage of like weapons and tools, and actually like applying yourself in like tombs and dungeons, you know, not just for puzzles but all sorts of shit, right? I mean these games are like hard, and I mean maybe like puzzle stuff isn't the kind of hard they want to go for. They want to go for like difficult like jump and shooting and stuff, but you can have a mix, right? So there's just so much they could do, and instead it's like it's the exact same kit with a couple new guns that are really not even new. They're just like skin changed. Like the MP5 is just the M16, and then a couple sound effect changes, and then they reuse all of the atmosphere sounds, which it's really boring to hear the same ambience for like 3 games in a row. It was cool in the first game, and then they just fucking phone it in on the rest. A couple new music tracks, they're nice, but it's not a whole lot. Like, I mean, they don't do anything extra fun. I feel like her charisma, her fun badassery is like she's more and more boring every game. At least in the second game, she ends with shooting the camera. The first game, she's got all the crazy glasses and she's doing all this crazy shit. And I mean, she gets captured like an idiot in every game, but at least she like feels kind of badass in the first one. She's just kind of boring by these ones. So it's like you get the same exact kit, the same core. Which, you know, hey, if it's really good, nothing wrong with just making a few games, you know, essentially map packs that just use that kit well. I mean, that's fun, right? And that's cool. But my thing is I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement, something new. Or just refining the idea of raiding the tombs and stuff with like, you know, heavy duty platforming and action and stuff. And instead of doing that, I find you get worse levels most of the time, or very poorly, well, I guess it's both, but poorly focused goals. Like, so in the second game, it's like, it's extremely focused on shooting. It's not a fun shooter. There's fun shooters already out at this point, right? You know, it's like, this is not a fun shooter. So having everybody be like a hit scan enemy that just pops out around a corner to shoot you, and that's the only way you even find treasure, so the exploration's not even that fun, and it's just like never ending. There's just too much of it, and the levels are too long, and they're, you know, the pace of the levels in the second one are like, you're in one world for like 10 hours, and some of them are in like 5 hours, and so it's like, it'd be one thing if the core was good and like the focus was, you know, on just improving the level design and all that, but instead it's like they kind of like pivot away from like tombs. They pivot away from improving the idea of the exploration and go just more for like action. And then in the third one, they try to bring it back a bit. But at this point, it's like, I wouldn't call the levels linear or anything. I probably was lost more here, but there's just a sloppiness to the third one at times. There's just like pace issues. I guess sloppiness, like there's things that you can interact with you cannot really see. There's like even more nonsensical like items and switches and stuff that don't make a whole lot of sense. Like it almost feels like there's like bugs. You're like interacting with things like 5 feet away from them on some doors and shit like that. Like just weird little things that I feel like the other ones, while they were jank, this one feels like it's like stuff fell through the cracks. Like at the end there, it's like, you know, you put the 4 doohickeys in, and then I just have to go get a random key. Like, just make it exciting, right? Like, have the flow of the fucking level build up to something. It's like, so I don't know. I don't think they like improved in the level design at all. And if anything, I feel like we're using the same stuff. It ends up just getting more and more kind of. They're honestly just get more weak. Like there's some cool theme ideas. Like I like the idea of going through like a modern, like the Thing Antarctica base into like a temple, or like being in like a subway that has like a hidden Illuminati thing from the 1800s in it. or like Area 51, but like they don't make these fun. Like you think of Area 51, like there's like one Roswell thing, and you can get inside the UFO for a few minutes, and it's like other than that, it's like 8 hours of just like fucking around, you know, in like metal hallways. It's like they're just not interesting. I think the South Pacific one tried to do some stuff with like the turret section with the raptors, little T-Rex bosses. They'd have a mix of linear stuff or open areas like with the Cannibal Village or the airplane kinda, right? And then they did try to bring that back from Tomb Raider 1 a bit where you'd go get the 4 doohickeys and do shit, but I feel like even Tomb Raider 1 would shy away from having that be like the only thing you did. There'd be levels where it'd be like you get a bunch of stuff and then maybe like chain into like a few other collectible things and then some linear shit, like try to keep it spicy, but I don't know. Tomb Raider 3 in particular, I'm rambling, but yeah, I think that, like I said, the formula wears thin. I don't think it's disappointing how little they like really upgrade between it for how much room they have to do so. And I feel like this one's overly focused on being like a hardcore obstacle course thing. Over being like something a little bit more broad when it comes to like tomb raiding and stuff like that. Like it's very labyrinthian mazes that you can get lost in, but you're still like pixel hunting. And like I said, there's a lot of insta kills, a lot of reloads necessary because there's just a lot of stuff that's going to get you without really a whole lot of warning. I'm fine with that kind of stuff. I don't even mind dying, having to like learn something, but it needs to be like fun. A lot of runbacks. I don't know. I don't think it's like bad or anything. That's why I'm kind of like all over the place. Like it's not just shit, but I think if you're gonna play through the Tomb Raiders and you don't have nostalgia for them, obviously I don't think this series would be interesting for like some younger audience, unless you play a lot of shit and you just want something with a different pace. But I think take a break between some of these. Unless it just really clicks. But regardless, that's not like a, you know, magically that makes them godly, but it's just a, you know, they're pretty long. The level design can be really bad or really drawn out, really bad pace, and you're going to be playing the same game essentially for 70 hours. So maybe 70 is a little too much, but it definitely well, I don't know. I took like a 2-week break between 2 and 3 because of my trip and shit. Maybe not 2 weeks, but a week and a half. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think on it? I would say, yeah. I mean, a 1, 3, then 2 is my tier list. Fellmore Dread. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not for everyone. So, like, what? I mean, I guess the positives of the first 3, I mean, I've said it a million times. They're all the same shit, so I'm just gonna say it again. I guess we can talk about the new gimmicks in 3. Let me finish on that. So the new additions to this are what? Sprinting, crawling, and monkey bars. I think those are a lot better than the second game's additions. I still don't think they're too interesting. Sprinting luckily doesn't get overused for annoying speed shit because this game is not fun to try to do speedy stuff. If it had a little bit tighter movement, maybe. Monkey bars, the textures on them are kind of hard to find sometimes, but for the most part, it's neat. I think they just have bad level design with them at some points. Like in the gorge or whatever the fuck it was, the river, where you spend like 10 hours like crawling around and fucking like monkey bars and stuff. And then you have like what, the crawl. I mean, it's cute. Thing is, like, whenever they add something in this, instead of like, it's like they have to add like the slowest, most dull thing at times. Like they didn't pick like speed up the climbing speed at all. I like this in this series, the slow, methodical way of playing it. But the problem is you've seen it all, and then they don't try to like improve like the how smart you are, or the nuance of movement ever. And so it's like once you've done like enough clever jumps, it's like after 60 hours, it's like, okay, you know, I've seen them all. It's like you need to like keep expanding on that slow, methodical movement, and like, you know, like I said, apply it to puzzles, apply it to pathfinding more. Instead, it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't really do that. So it's like I like the idea, and I like it a lot in 1 when it's all still fresh, when the levels are proper tombs that you're like exploring around, and there's like centerpieces and there's memorable rooms because there's something going on in them. A lot of these, it's like the rooms just like they just kind of bleed together. I don't know, it feels like when you get to 2 and 3, like they're cranking them out, and they're not lazy. They clearly want to make a long game with a lot of content, but I feel like that means everything else falls to the wayside. They're like, what are our 3 new things? Put those in. Have maybe a couple little vehicles and some reskin shit to make it look like something new is actually there. And then just make maps. And I really think I would have preferred if, you know, instead of 3 of these, 2 of these, and then they actually try to expand on it. Because I like the idea. I think you could do some really cool shit with a very involved, like, adventure, action, platformer, hard as nails, tomb thing, no yellow paint, you just have to look around and find shit, but the thing is, that's really difficult and requires like really godly level design and like game sense and pace and shit. They do an okay job, but yeah, like I said, there's just the base is just not there after 3 games, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think how I feel about Tomb Raider 3. I'm just kind of done with it after a certain point. I like the idea of like picking your level, I guess, but I don't know. We were talking about before. It's like you could compare this to like other series that were out at the time that were like, you know, have a year or 2 in between their games, but actually would like you know, improve a bunch of shit and mix it up. And you know, maybe they still have the money. I know the story is that they were just super tired of making these to a certain extent. They're just cranking one out after another. I don't know if the Sony contracts or what, but they feel very, in a way, gamey in that aspect. It's like bare bones, very little like structure. It's just like just raw ass levels. You just go, and that's how they all are. And it's kind of refreshing to a certain point, but you know, you're looking for something a little more, something pushing the envelope a bit, I guess. After even the second game, the series can stay in the 90s. I'll play 4, 5, and 6 probably when the remasters come out, but those are supposed to not be good. I think the series just keeps getting worse, but we'll see. We'll see how 4 is. Yeah, so I don't know. It's there's a 4, 5, 6, a remake of the first one, 2 Game Boy Color games, 1 Game Boy Advance game, 2 little indie games. I played one of them, it was pretty decent, and then 3 reboots. I've played 2 of those. Don't know if I'll play the Game Boy Color ones. Don't know if I'll play the Game Boy Advance one. Don't know if I'll play the remake of the first one. I'm curious to see where the series goes. I think it's extremely interesting because it's like textbook, like sticking to your guns, playing it safe, and just cranking out content too often. And to the point where it like kills the series in the studio, right? I mean, you see it with like your Assassin's Creeds and stuff today, you know, Ubisoft in general. Their whole like fucking formula for all of their games is like doing a very similar thing. So I'm interested in playing these for that, and I had fun with these. Like it wasn't like torturous, but you know, you're definitely, some of these levels are a little long, and you're like, all right, you know, this like half of these could probably be half the length, and it would probably be a tighter game for it. But it feels maybe like even at the time they're trying to like reach a certain amount of like content or hours, or who knows. I wouldn't call it just outright padding. I wouldn't call it an outright like lazy game or just like, you know, full of shortcuts or anything, but there's definitely a jank, a lack of innovation, a touch of polish missing. It's extremely threadbare. There's barely even like a fucking ounce of like even a touch of story. Even the story that is there, it's like it doesn't even make sense what they're saying half the time, and the cutscenes are really odd. And like, the thing is, like, you can do that. The first game did. It was just fun, clever, goofy, or not even clever, just fun, goofy cutscenes. It's like, you know, I don't need story, but if you're going to start having a bunch of chatting, it's like you got to do something there. You know, it's nice to have moments where you kind of like, you know, it chills a little bit, or you switch to a different level, or something else happens, right? They try to kind of do it with the vehicles and shit. It just doesn't work. Castlevania 64 is a better tier, might be. Oh yeah, I don't know. Favorite was 1 by a lot. I already talked about that. The atmosphere was fresh. The tombs were a bit more open, with more interesting visuals sometimes. I feel like it wasn't overly focused on anything in particular, especially not the action. Lots of secrets. Cool little like mythological things like the Midas and all that crap. Nice variety of locations. It's the shortest, so it's a bit tighter on pace. 2's definitely the worst so far for me. Instead of building off of the Tomb Raider idea, it turns into a shooting guys like I'm playing fucking Doom in like Metal Corridor game, but it's the exact same controls. There's a couple little changes. Worse pace. The middle section's way too long. Some of the later levels even just get way too much, and you're just kind of tired of all the action at that point. So it hardly even matters how good they are. And then the third game, it's like, you know, you realize that they're really not gonna push the envelope. They're not gonna improve anything. It's map packs, and wherever they can work within this small range they have to make something. So if you're tired of that range, 3's kind of rough, because a lot of the levels I feel like suck and are way too long. They're always interestingly themed. I think every level in every game has got a cool theme to it, but the execution can be really shoddy. Too long, too many gimmicks with like vehicles. Even just the vehicles, you think about those sections. Every vehicle you get in these games, you're out of it within 5 seconds, just so you can move like a gate. Like, you don't even get these like rushes of like new, like fancy little moments. It's always like just another tool that you're slowly fucking with. So, yeah, I think I like how much stuff there is in these. I like the variety. I like the pace of the movement. I don't like the pace of the entire games or the levels, but and I think it's something that has a lot of potential, but honestly, I feel like it probably, from what it seems like, is never going to hit that potential ever. They clearly have no intent to like take it to the next level. And I mean, that's seemingly what's going to kill the series. I mean, what did kill the series? We'll see. I mean, obviously they have to change something in the PS2 ones, but I don't know. I think is Tomb Raider 4 a PS4 one? Find out. Yeah, I don't know. I'm repeating myself a lot, trying to kind of figure out how I feel in it. Because, like, I've played games where I'm just like, wow, this is torture. You know, I need like a fucking, you know, lobotomy after this or something. This I never felt that, but I was like, you know, like, okay, or you know, like, okay, this is a pain, or it just slowly kind of wears on you. I really think it's that it's the same shit, and with questionable level design as you go. Like, they try to do some cool stuff. It's not like like it's just like bullshit. Like they just don't. They didn't like try it all. I just think it's in the wrong places, or maybe they just got lucky on the first one. Alright. Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation is PlayStation and Dreamcast. Damn, some people rolled this fucking game back then. Big, or like, I'm looking at Tomb Raider 4, so like back then you'd get, oh, somebody gives like a 4, somebody gives it like a 3 out of 10, you know. Somebody's giving it like a 4 or 5, 8, you know, 10 out of 10. The PlayStation official magazine, wow, 10 out of 10. Crazy. Yeah, wow, I can't believe it. I better buy that and make Sony some money. Is Chronicles PS2? No, this is fucking PS1 too. Jesus, really? Jesus, no way. What about Angel of Darkness? This is PS2. It was made by somebody else. Wait, oh no, wait, this is still core design. So the 6th game took 3 years to make. They wanted to do something different. They're focused on action, of course, dude. And it looks like the Tomb Raider fucking movie poster, yeah. And then the series dies. That seemed to be a fucking good idea. No, it doesn't die. I guess there's legend. This is when it's like a... You get a new series of people. This is Crystal Dynamics. They do Legend Anniversary and Underworld. Like a reboot. Yeah. And then it dies again till another reboot. Interesting. Wow, the next 3 are very possibly going to be the same thing again. 2 more games. And then something different on the 3rd one, maybe? We'll find out. Society of Raiders. Yeah. Anyways, it's something unique to the time. I don't think there's a lot of stuff that tries to kind of do this feel. Obviously, some of it is just this byproduct of like, you know, I mean, the DualShock didn't even exist. Of course, it's going to be like tank controls or something, right? So there's a part of it that is just kind of, it kind of just works out that way. You know, some of the jank, some of the camera stuff, you know, that the story's not really a big focus, you know, so there's a kind of, you know, refreshingness to it. You know, obviously, you know, they're not caring about you finding every little thing, or, you know, it is about pathfinding. There's not, so, you know, back then, you're not going to have yellow paint everywhere. There's no UI that tells you where to go, and that's nice. I like that. It's, I mean, obviously you need good level design, so they fuck it up a lot, but so I enjoy them for sure, but and if you really click, I mean, just it being the same thing every time is fine, but it just doesn't feel like a series where they nailed it so good you could just do like 6 games the same way in a row. They're saying like Mega Man did that, but it's like, you know, Mega Man's like short and it is that good at the, you know, at its core, right? You know, these are like gargantuan and there's a little bit more they could be doing. Anyways, yeah, it does sound fucked. I probably missed some stuff. Kind of went back over, I guess, thoughts on each game. I guess, but I could rank the levels in this game. I mean, I would say best levels. I mean, probably the first one, the tutorial one was maybe the best. Then the South Pacific, that might be the best, but the kayak level was really bad. Like, that killed it. Otherwise, it was probably the best one. Even the final bit was just a nice boss after a couple traps. I would say that one's probably the best, but the kayak part is really bad. So the forest in the beginning of the game is probably close behind or above. Power Gap. God, I don't know. Area 51's. I liked the Nevada part. Fine. But the prison, Area 51, those are so boring. I mean, they're so shit. They're just these like nondescript, repetitive. It's always in the levels just never end. Lots of backtracking. London's out same way. You can barely see shit. It's just fucking non-stop labyrinths, nonsensically strewn together. Questionably entertaining, like even stuff you're doing. Crappy gimmick boss at the end. I don't know. I would say it's those first two are close to each other. Massive power gap, and then London and Nevada are pretty close on how shit there. Probably London's worse because I don't think there was a single level in London I was all about. Yeah. Shame about Lara Croft too. I feel like she really had a lot of charisma. She was really fun in the first game, even though she had very little going on. We got some good laughs out of it, and it was fun. She was like, you know, more of like a badass, and then she's just kind of like gets more and more boring as you go. She's just there. I mean, they give her a little bit more sexy outfits, I guess, as you go, but she's the most interesting in the first one. It would have been cool if they kind of played with that a bit more. That's my thing. There's just like so much room to like do anything, you know? I'm not saying it needs like a full story. You can still have the short story, but like just... It's just so focused on just cranking out those levels, man. Anyways, I guess that's it. I don't know. I could do the expansions, but man, I think I'm alright for now. Maybe in the future. Also, this look for her, I'd almost prefer the original. At least you could kind of imagine something else. She looks like a fucking freak, dude. I gotta know, man. Like, I mean, obviously this is like old CG, so it looks a little rougher, but like even in the game, she looks like almost more like a person. Here, it's like it looks like a fucking like doll, man. Yeah. I mean, I guess we can talk about the remaster. I knew I was forgetting something. That's just like a personal preference. So the remaster. I never played these back in the day, so I can't really speak on that front. I think for the price, they're pretty good. I think it's at its best in the first game, probably. But when they started introducing flares and darkness, I do find that the lighting gets pretty off at times. It's one of the biggest things. There's times in the remaster, the even lighting across everything makes it so you can see in the dark much easier. But at times it also makes the areas feel less spooky or less interesting. Having the 60 FPS is nice. I mean, obviously you could in the original if you wanted, but they keep it lower to emulate the original style. I also feel like when they add a bunch of extra foliage and shit, it can kind of make things harder. Good examples in the second game when you're in the underwater bit, where you're supposed to find a key just sitting somewhere random, and the only two little bits of foliage, like a seaweed or something, in the original, it's right next to the key. But in the new version, it's everywhere, so it's extremely hard to see. You can switch the graphics whenever you want. I'd recommend it. I definitely think that sometimes the original has a more distinct art style and color palette. Some of it's just because of draw distance, but sometimes it's on purpose. Sometimes it makes the game a pain in the ass to play, like London's way too dark in the original at all times. But it is a stark look to it. And the new one, I feel like, while it's cleaner, crispier, tends to add more like buildings and lights and sources and stuff. Sometimes loses some of that color palette, some of that kind of unique look. Some of it's just, old geometry and textures and stuff just has a certain vibe, right? I mean, there's a whole slew of indie games these days that just go for that because it is like an art style. Some of it's just poorly done stuff. Like in Atlantis, like it looks like the walls are covered in like chicken legs and shit when it's supposed to be, when it's got a more unified, like pixelated look to it. It kind of flows a little better and looks being a bit more like ambiguously gory. So sometimes I feel like the AI textures where they retouched them afterwards, the AI upscaling ones don't quite work out. But for the most part, I think it's a good remaster. I would prefer this kind of remaster every day over the $70 overly produced, well, deceptively produced. They don't change that much, but like your Thousand Year Doors for $70 or something, $60, where they just tune the soundtrack and change it for no reason, change some visuals, and then charge full price for it. I like this style. The Halo, the Monkey Island remasters, where it's like you just change them on the fly, or the gameplay has the original style. It has the new style you can do, which I don't think is very good. You lose a lot of features, and the parity is really bad. But it's there. It's something. You can probably still win with it. That's where you get like full analog control and shit. So, you have all the expansions from the PC ones. You can quick save if you want all over the place, costumes, photo modes and stuff. I think this is a good one there. Like I said, some of the art style, some of the gameplay effects of like too much shit and the shadows being weird. Or making it easier because the light's more, evenly spread everywhere. It's got a very even lighting going on, which can kind of sometimes feel flat. But other than that, it's like I really feel like they clearly gave a lot of shits, the bazillion achievements, all the little details. It feels much more in line with, like I said, like the Halo, the Monkey Island, or the guys who do all the boomer shooters, Night Dive. They're really good too. Cheap, all the features, all the little things you want. More just kind of making the best version of a game. And maybe some accessibility stuff in there that fits in the vision. Other than that, it's like I like full reimagining's fine, but that in between where it's really expensive, but it's still the same game, but then they kind of kill the vision a bit. I don't like that. So this one, On sale, you can get all 3 of these for 15 bucks. I think it's 30 by default. Totally fine, man. Reasonable for what it is. Yeah, being able to switch the graphics on the spot's nice. Made a lot of use of it. It's great for someone like me who likes to shoot the shit about all the games and experience some of the history and stuff. I think there's definitely room to improve some of that shit, but also I feel like they do a solid job there. It ran fine. Maybe I had one crash. I don't remember about PS5, but yeah, it's cool for sure. 269 achievements. Christ, it's because every single game has like achievements, and then all the DLC of it has an achievement list. I know somebody who did all these, and it took fucking eons, man. No way I could sit there and do it. I mean, I could do it. I mean, I would do it. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do unfinished business. Hands down on top of the sculpture. Hands. Oh, if you climb a certain way. I've heard that some of these are pretty good, actually, like Lost Artifact and shit. I don't know. I think if each of these has a little bit more going on and they kind of improved it, but I'd be willing. But I think 3 of these in a row with how the development is on these is probably enough. She just looks like she's hanging, and this one she looks like she's pissed. I like the pissed look. She doesn't even get to like wear her cool glasses half the time.
After that grueling business last year, I decided to build this assault course to hone my skills.
Anyways, guys, I guess that's it for now, huh? Thank you for watching. If you were maybe first time viewer on the old stream, looking to watch a first time Lara Croft playthrough, apologies for railing on the game half the time, but well, I finished them, and this is kind of how it is. I liked them enough, for sure. I mean, enough that I'd played the other 3, I suppose, but definitely need a break. They're definitely not without their fault. There's a reason a lot of these got not super well received back in the day, and a lot of people don't even really talk about the levels and anything anymore. It's Lara Croft herself. Definitely, at the time, being this like sexy badass chick is probably refreshing enough. I think she really took off, but the games themselves, I think they did pretty good on the first one, and then kind of phoned it in on the rest. It feels like maybe not phoned it in, but played it safe. I think really her character is what's ended up just keeping the series alive beyond that, right? Like obviously there's like a nostalgia for it, but I don't know. Yeah, I just maybe it's anecdotal. I just don't see people like talking about the games that much, right? I mean, obviously the fans do, but it's like you could catch people talking about all sorts of other big series just like in passing. It's like I don't see anybody talk about like Tomb Raider levels, right? And I think it's just because a lot of it's just like the quality is questionable at times, man. This is very just like off the wall, out there, meaningless kind of commentary, I guess. Point is, I think the character goes a lot farther than the games do, clearly. And the idea, I mean, obviously stuff like the movies help, but I just think it's a shame because I think there's a lot of potential to actually make them really cool. And I think they're acceptable at worst, I suppose, but I also feel like I said, like Lara Croft herself ends up being kind of boring. There's just, I guess that's the final word on it. There's a lot of potential, and I just don't think it meets it, but they're still fun enough. That's kind of, I repeat myself. It's a weird one because it's like a beloved thing for a lot of people, but like nobody probably plays these for the first time anymore. That's probably like one of the first people in eons, probably. I'm not literally, but it's probably very rare. I don't think this series would click with the modern audience in the slightest. I don't think it clicked super hard with the people back in the day. I have a lot of people who like hated this even back then. And it's fine. It's okay if it's niche and stuff, but I definitely think it could be the best of both worlds. So. What's up, though, Mootown? Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm gonna jump off for now. I might go check the mail and see if Lempo's in the mail. I don't know if I'll start it up. I might just chill the rest of the night. So maybe I'll check the mail tomorrow. If Lempo's in the mail, that's like a Finnish folk horror game. That'll probably be a whole vast stream. Maybe we'll do that. If I don't have it in the mail, we're going to start East 10. That'll be a 40-50 hour action RPG. So, SMT2 in the mail. Yeah. Whoa. But thanks for watching. We'll be doing more Tomb Raider. I like to do a whole tier list for the series. I think it's very interesting to talk about. I think it's unique pace. It's unique, methodical kind of, maybe not unique, but for its time, kind of the methodical gameplay style. The size of the levels, the kind of difficulty, all that kind of stuff, where it doesn't really go anywhere as the games go on. I think there's a lot to talk about there, so I'm interested enough in maybe doing 4 through 6. Need a good break for sure, but it'll be neat. So, anyways, I'll see you guys later. Right? Thanks for watching. Apologies for the pretty slipshod fucking commentary there at the end. But it's a weird one, and it's late. So.